Well, I can't read, so I'm going to have to throw off the top of my head to introduce our next presenter. Thank goodness everyone who attended the dinner last night knows him very well. He was our exceptional performer, and I don't think he's going to perform today, but he's going to do his presentation. And yeah, so come up and I'll see whether I can actually do the IT in the dark.
How's everyone doing? That's the one. So definitely not rapping again. I think I was the end of my career last night. I'm going to stand here and just do this presentation. But I'd just like to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay much respect to elders past and present, and to all Indigenous people in this room, much respect. And to the uncles and aunties and brothers and sisters I've met up in this area, thank you very much. It's been good to be a part of your lives. So my name is Robertson. I direct an organisation called One Vision Productions. Over the past 12 years, we've travelled around Australia working with all kids that need help. Probably worked in about 40 communities, worked with about 10,000 youth. And what we basically do, we use passion and culture and as a means of engagement to help kids. A lot of time we end up doing DJing workshops, we do hip hop workshops, we do whatever the youth are into. So if you're seeing kids rapping on TV, sometimes on NITV and stuff like that, a lot of time that's for our organisation. It gives the kids a platform to work in circle work, to work with trauma and healing, to get rid of shame, to really work on kids to realise their unlimited potential, to know that they are capable of anything, and to understand the power of forgiveness of themselves. Because if we don't forgive ourselves, a lot with that. So yeah, if we don't have forgiveness for ourselves and the people around us internally, we hold on to hate and dispossession. Now, if I'm holding hate to this cameraman here, my friend, internally, we are seeing actually hate for ourselves on a cellular level, and we're actually destroying ourselves. So the biggest power we can do is have forgiveness. So, taking on that journey, I really just want to explain a little bit about my past. So, I was taken away from home when I was young. I grew up in an island on the streets from 12 years old. 17, I was passed around every single youth shelter that was possible. First, in going into care, there was about 10 people in each house. I was a part of a failed system that eventually seen me hard on drugs and going through a lot of problems with myself. I was eventually blessed with a good mentor to help me in my adult years. That stuck through me from when I was 12. He'd pick me up wherever I was staying, wherever I was squatting. He'd see how I was doing. He'd buy me KFC, he'd do stuff. He'd try to guide my life. So mentorship to me has been one of the most foundational principles that we can give our youth. Why I'm talking about my story is I don't want to talk about my story about anything bad except for what I want to lead into. I was given a fortunate enough platform to, instead of going to jail, I was looking at going to not get locked up as a juvenile anymore, going to adult jail and sit over long for 2 years. Instead, I got put out on an immediate release order and got put into my passion. So I was a hip hop MC that would travel doing hip hop MCing or whatever, busting with mates in the park, whatever. So from that, I had to go and do TAFE 11 and 12 every single day instead of jail. I had a community service on the weekends, had to be home at 6 o'clock at night time. My mum was in a women's shelter when I grew up. I got remanded into her. She just got out of a women's shelter for that year while I went through this process. So instead of me going on 2 roads, which could have been incarcerated and kept going to jail over and over again, which is what's happened, because 80% of the time when people are incarcerated, they go back into prison. It's just a cycle that's pretty much really hard to beat, and it's continuous. So we want to do everything that we can to keep our kids out of jail. So I was lucky, I was reconnected. I went back to my grade 11 and 12, went back to university, did social work, did teaching, became a high school teacher because I got kicked out of 5 high schools, but funny enough, became a bloody high school teacher. And because the teachers down there could see that I had an ability to be able to talk to people and to be able to help. So they eventually convinced me into being a teacher, which led me into being a special needs teacher. So helping behaviour at-risk kids around Australia, taught in London, kids coming out of jail over there, taught all throughout here. Guided on this principle, what I really want to talk about is passion. Passion has led me here. Passion has led you guys here. Passion has transformed many of our lives. When our passion is found and redirected, we really have a chance to be able to get on with what we love. I don't feel like I've ever worked a day in my life because I'm following my passion, which many people in this room, I could probably say, would be the same thing when they're aligned to what that is. So what I'm here to talk about is a program I've just created with community, many people involved, about how to keep this cycle of disparity of kids in prison out of correctional services. As I say, it's very rings home in my heart about the way that the system has failed so many of you for so long, and the way they're looking at many rich people that go for university, never had done a day out there in the streets, and they've never been incarcerated, and they're making decisions. So it's important that different platforms approached, and like we've come together in this room, we've seen so many different solutions to this, and actually it's so good to see that this is pretty much what I'm going to talk about. So change the track, passion-based learning. So just a little brief bit about what we do. I'm just going to show a quick video.
The vast majority of behavior problems in the classroom involve minor breaches of discipline. Disciplinary problems in the classroom are symptoms of underlying weaknesses in total learning situations.
We interrupt this program, so just sit and listen. Chingy wala, wale bayin, garma, jogo mala.
We're the new generation fixing the nation.
The world doesn't listen, the systems aren't fair. Doesn't matter what we say, cause we're all one culture, one mob, human being.
It's not just to get out of class or anything like that. Like, that's what I thought it was doing, but it was so much more than that.
I look like a juvenile delinquent, but I'm not different than any other kid you meet in your district.
Welcome to our land, this is Bunjalun Juggin.
Nature should be nurtured like a baby in her arms, while the earth should be cared for and left unharmed.
I was absolutely gobsmacked at how engaged the kids became with it.
We don't own the land owns us. You can hurt the land, but you can't hurt us.
I mean, the whole program just helps you become a better person, get a new perspective on life.
Actions speak louder than words.
Now I am so close to all the people I was in One Vision with. I have like a crew, like I can always just like rely on them.
Having family at school, that just makes me want to come to school way more.
Kids enjoying it, and the kids stick with the program. You know, if the program was no good, the kids would have voted with their feet.
What One Vision is really trying to teach the youth is that they have a lot of power within themselves to make change.
Mentoring is the most fundamental, important thing we can ever do to youth.
I'm trying to start a new life, caught up in the wrong place.
So we use music, film, dance, culture to transform individuals' lives and to help them try to make positive life choices.
Oh, don't you know, it's time for a fresh start.
We really work on like empowering them to be who they are and what they have and what they're able to do.
We're not only sharing our knowledge of creative arts, it's also like life lessons as well. Things that we wish someone had told us.
We're utilising what they're passionate about and we're flipping it and going, okay, and we're teaching them education in the middle of that, but only that, we're teaching them how to think right.
To be treated as one, cause equally we stand.
And that's what I think we're trying to do, is help people find what their real passion is and their position in this world, what their soul's meant to do. And I think that's really important to find, because everybody's got a reason and a purpose, but we don't all find it.
All stand together, yeah, under the sun. Uniting the people with the power as one. Telling stories with spirit, we feel in our heart. Connection goes strong.
Okay, so when we work in the communities, we get elders to come in, tell them the stories, more about connection, try to find what are these. We do a lot of language, get the elders to teach them language, incorporate all that in. Talk about what's solution things, not what's the problems, what's the solutions to the community. So we've got committees set up. We're setting up even more in a lot of the communities so the kids have a right of voice as well. So we just set up Bernalbo, so we just set up a committee there. The kids, like 8 of them on the committee there, where they can talk and also have a voice. So it's important to ask the youth what's actually going on and how to do that. To bring this back, change the track. This is the program I've been pushing Australia-wide. I've been flying down to Sydney a lot, trying to get in government's ear. Yeah, buddy, How hard is that? So I've been trying, but it's going places. I think I just had I just saw the Treasury Department a while ago. I was a Winston Churchill recipient, which sort of helps open up a couple of doorways into avenues of people listening. So we're looking at the moment. This project could have a possibility of getting off the ground, and basically how it works. It's based on the young person, first off. What does the young person need? What does that one person want? So basically, that sort of goes for a case manager where they work out identification. What's the needs of that young person? What's the root of what's going on with that young person? How do we connect them more? How do they work if you're an Indigenous kid with Indigenous mentors to do that? Psychologist Meg Perkins is actually coming onto this as doing her assessment on this program. So really great having Meg and to put in your time for a couple of years. We hope this gets off the ground to be a part of this. When the passion is identified and whether they want to create their pathway, it goes into mentors. Or mentors are pioneers in their film. They might be music producers, pioneers, video producers, elders that have a lot of knowledge, people that have been through incarceration. Whatever suits that kid. So it's identified around that young person, not just you'll just give him with Jimmy because Jimmy looks like that he's going to be a good suit for you. This is where mentoring, I think, has gone a lot wrong the other time. They're not giving people that are actually identifying with the kid on their progression of development. So this is where we really are changing the face of mentoring a little bit, and we try to find industry professionals that the kid looks up to and goes, I want to be like you, I want to be a friggin' famous hip-hop artist and travel the world. Well, how do I get there? First you've got to go to SAE, first you've got to do this. Okay, well, let's get you enrolled. Then you've got to do this. Creating platforms in order to get that. So those mentors will help them into apprenticeships, traineeships, holistic support, creative industries, education, employment, agriculture. And this is where it's really important that the whole situation is taken from the whole holistic ideology, which is home, working with the parents is very important. All carers, a lot of kids that are going through the system, they're staying with aunties, uncles, they're out of home, they haven't got the assistance of a normal parenting family. So, as I say this, so it's based on the youth, it's based on their passion, and it's using culture, and it's also connecting them through all these things back into their life. So through legal support, through housing, Maslow's hierarchy needs, if you have no food and shelter, you can't move forward. From education and training, we're going to do this to describe quickly how this would work. Be 10 hours a week of intensive mentoring of these youth. A lot of them are failing, not really doing too well at school. I'm an old distance ed teacher, so also we're going to create a program where kids can come and learn through us. We've got a double-story creative platform there. We're doing stuff for the community. We're doing all stuff from from horticulture to MMA programs to gym, whatever it is, but also just hands-on environment, building stuff, using that as a paradigm for education, not the traditional 200-year-old system that's built for the Industrial Revolution that seems to be failing a lot of our youth. So it's a lot more hands-on approach. We've worked in a lot of places around here that's had a good success with distance education. So bringing the paradigm of mentorship in, bringing the paradigm of being the kid first, identifying passion, identifying culture, community connection, and having them working in the community and actually showing difference. So I just had to go election government. There's 20 people down from Their Future Matters and Juvenile Justice and all that sort of stuff, and government's just bloody confused. I don't think they just got an idea, but they're looking out, and it's just such a hard war to go through because the people are making decisions. Again, I'm not coming from people that have been through lived experience, so it's a tricky one. So basically, at the back here, and this is what I really want to invite, all community organisations, community elders, brothers, sisters that are strong mentors, please fill out that form at the back there, get involved, come and be a part of this, come be part of the framework of this. Bring your ideas to the table because it's still a working thing. It hasn't started yet, so we want to bring everybody in. At the back there, you'll see a booklet. I don't know where I put it, but you'll see a booklet back there that tells you all about this. The booklet's about 20 pages, which describes all our problems and ways that we can actually identify with the youth in a different paradigm. So you see it right at the back there. It's on my laptop. Here we go. That's the booklet. Changed the track. Funny enough, I originally made it change the record, then I realised another change the record, and I actually couldn't. So it's changed the track now. If you go through it, you'll see there's been a lot of work with people just and community just putting in this ideology, this framework. So check it out if you are keen and want to pursue this ideology further, or want to work with us in any sort of way. Please check that out. A big part of this film will start. So 10 mentors, 10 so from each community. We'll be taking the kids for a rite of passage where they'll be taking them out 2 weeks to start to going through that, and then they'll come back and start the program. So they'll leave knowing they've got to come back with change. Backtrack's an organisation down south we have partnered with. I was going to quickly show you this.
If I muck up again bad, I'll get bail and then parole, and if I break parole, I'll go to jail.
All of us boys have all been in trouble with the law.
They'd been pushed to the side by society. They had a tattoo on the forehead that said, "No fucking good." We scrubbed that tattoo off. Spent so much time with dogs that I think more like a dog than I think like a youth worker. So how you're feeling your energy in there is what's going straight through that lead into that dog. The dogs never ever judge you. They don't care where you went to school, if you can read or write. They just take you in the absolute moment. That is the most beautiful place to start with a young person.
3, 2, 1.
I've got more in me than I knew that I've got in me.
When shit gets hard, these boys are the ones there for me.
We got 3 jobs. One is to keep the kid alive. The next is to keep them out of jail. The third thing is to chase their hopes and dreams.
I'm just too good looking to go to jail.
He's a cool kid, that one. Oh yeah, the assessment was Saturday run by Meg Perkins. Really big thank you, I think, for all of us, for Meg, putting this together, and I'll just say that right now. Okay, so look, that's me just finishing off. I invite you all to be a part of a different paradigm. We hope to be. I'm a bit of a stubborn bulldog, so I'm going to keep pushing till it happens. But thank you very much. Have a great day. Cheers.